Hello everyone, Nancy here with the Joyful Cottage. I'm so glad to be with you today, and I'm filming from my craft room, which I haven't been in for a very long time. I've been so busy with other things like finishing my guest bath and getting ready for my guests that have come and gone now, and so I finally have time to get back to doing some crafting, and in particular doing Christmas decor, which is something I love to do. So today's video is going to cover 4 projects that I've done for Christmas, and I hope that you will enjoy seeing them and that they will inspire you and perhaps give you ideas for your own Christmas crafts this year. So let's get started. If you watch my fall home tour, then you most likely remember this wall hanging in my entryway. Now you may be saying, Nancy, this is not Christmas decor. And you're right, it isn't, not yet, but it soon will be. First though, I want to take you through the steps of making this piece. It's easy, fun, inexpensive, and I think you're going to want to try this yourself. This picture frame has been in my stash for quite a while. I picked it up at a thrift store for $1 or $2. The first thing I did was tape off the glass and give it a coat of bare chalk paint in a custom color. I had the Home Depot paint department match Valspar River Mist for another project on my list, and I was dying to try out this color, so I thought, why not try it on this frame? I could have just removed the glass from the frame instead of taping it off, but I wasn't sure where this project was going, so I left everything intact at this point. You'll notice I'm not in my craft room as I'm working on this project. My craft room was filled at the time with things that had to do with my bathroom and working on that project, so I had to move everything for this project into my dining room, and so that's why you see my living room in the background and lots of stuff scattered around. It's just one of those things that sometimes you have to adjust. You can't always, I don't know. Do you ever have that problem if you have a craft room? Do you sometimes find your craft room is overflowing and you have a project you want to work on right away, you have to go somewhere else? I'm using a foam brush to apply this paint, and it's going on really well. I'm not going for full coverage because I come back after the paint is dry and with a baby wipe pull back some of the paint to give the frame a distressed look. When I started this project, I had in mind to hang my small fall wreath in the center of the frame. I just wasn't sure what to use for the background. I knew I had some leftover beadboard wallpaper that I thought would be interesting for a backdrop. I used this wallpaper inside the cabinet above my range. It is paintable, however, I like the white as it is and didn't bother painting it. I traced the cardboard insert to get the correct size for my backdrop, then cut it out and used the wallpaper paste left over from my kitchen cabinet project to adhere the beadboard wallpaper to the insert. Once the wallpaper was adhered, I put the insert back in the frame and then placed the glass behind it. I did this so that the weight of the glass would add pressure to the wallpaper and keep the insert from warping. This worked well. I wanted to hang my wreath from the top of the frame, so I measured the length of the top to find the center of the frame and then marked it so I'd know where to add a tack nail. I eyeballed where I wanted the wreath and then hung it on the nail with jute twine. This decor piece can be used all year round. In just a few minutes, I can change it up for Christmas and the winter season. I got this chain of snowflakes at Dollar Tree. I separated two of them and painted them with a ruby red chalk paint from Walmart that I've had for a while. The brand is Hello Hobby. As a side note, I'm excited to find that my local Walmart has replaced this brand and is now carrying Waverly chalk paint again. Here's another option for a wall hanging. And here's one more idea. Take a Christmas card, punch a hole in it, and hang it with a raffia ribbon. Simple, easy, and very inexpensive. So many possibilities for using this piece. For the next project, I'm making no-sew fabric stars. First, I traced a star I found at Dollar Tree for my pattern. I did make it a little smaller by cutting it down about a 1/4 inch on all sides. Use any star you like for your pattern. Using whatever scrap material I have on hand, I'm pinning my pattern to 2 layers of fabric and then cutting out the star. This ticking fabric is left over from last Christmas when I made a skirt for my sink. I never throw away scraps as I always find a use for them at some point. And I have to confess that I really do like ticking. Even as a little girl, I was drawn to it. I'm joining the two pieces together with hot glue, being careful not to burn myself, and I'm leaving an opening to add the filling. Using a pencil, I'm pushing the stuffing into the tips of the stars. The amount of stuffing you use depends on how plump you want your stars. I'm just making sure I have enough space to apply the final bead of glue and close up the star. Now I'm fraying the edges of the star with fine grit sandpaper, giving it a little more of a rustic look. I found this sanding block kit at Dollar Tree and I really like it. And here's the first star. For the second star, I'm using burlap. The burlap is pretty thick, so I'm cutting out the two pieces separately. And here's the second star. The third star is just a tiny bit more elaborate. I'm starting with flour sackcloth. This came in a pack of towels from Walmart. It's pretty inexpensive. I like the homespun look of flour sackcloth. Before joining the two pieces, I'm going to embellish the star with an IOD transfer. I found this one from the Traditional Pots transfer book I have. I think the cherubs give it a bit of a Christmas vibe. I don't have room to include the script, so I'll just save that for another project. I'm sorry I'm doing this on a white background. I didn't even think about the white star not showing up in the video. Hopefully you get the gist of what I'm doing. I enjoy using transfers because they're so easy to apply. I love the Traditional Pots and have used them for so many different projects. I feel it's money well spent considering how far these transfers have gone. After burnishing the transfer with a plastic backing, I'm finishing the star just as I did the first two. I'm going to use these stars as bowl fillers, but there are so many other ways to use them. Garlands, ornaments. I'm sure you can come up with your own ideas. I think this star is my favorite. It has the French country look I love. You can tell me in the comments which star is your favorite. For the third project, I'm using items from my stash. I picked up this metal riser at Goodwill for a couple of dollars. It's a party light piece and most likely was used to hold candles. However, I've got a different vision for this. The first thing I'm going to do is give it 2 coats of chalk paint in linen white. You'll notice I've painted the 2 remaining snowflakes that same linen white. More about those later. Using a baby wipe, I'm distressing some of the paint to give the riser an age look. These 3 mini terracotta pots came in a 3-pack at Dollar Tree. I think they've been in my stash for several years. For this project, I'm going to paint them with Waverly chalk paint in the color steel. I want the pots to have some texture, so I'm adding a small amount of baking soda to the paint. I'm applying 1 coat of the paint mixture to the pots. Now I'm working some white wax into the pots and then wiping back the excess. I found these bottle brush trees at Dollar Tree. They're so unusual, and I thought they would be perfect for this project. I'm applying some hot glue around the base before sticking the trees in the pots, adding some sweet moss from Walmart to cover the gap and make the potted trees look finished. I'm so happy with the way this project turned out. I love the gray pots with a white riser, and those trees are unique. I like the simplicity of this look, but you could certainly embellish it any way you like. The final project is super easy. I mentioned earlier that I had painted 2 of the snowflakes from the pack of 4 that I bought at Dollar Tree in the same white linen I painted the riser. I felt the white was kind of boring, so I looked through my craft paints and found a Decor metallic paint in antique bronze. Then I just repainted the remaining snowflakes with the antique bronze. I'm just giving them 1 coat of paint. I have several bottles of metallic paint in my stash. I haven't used them much, but I'm glad I used the bronze on these snowflakes. I feel like the bronze elevated the snowflake. I had some leftover white linen chalk paint in my cup. so I decided to use it to give the red snowflakes a dusting of white. Here I'm dry brushing the white linen onto the red, and you'll see how this really softens the snowflakes and gives them some depth. I'm using a chip brush for this process. After dipping the brush in the paint, I offload quite a bit of it onto a paper towel until I only have a small amount of paint on the brush. I didn't realize I had knocked over the cup until I was editing this video, but you can see that the paint isn't spilling onto the table because there's very little left. The amount of dry brushing you do on any project is a matter of personal preference. There's no right or wrong, just whatever appeals to you. So here's another option for that wall hanging I showed you earlier. And here's a look at all the Christmas decor in today's video. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video and that you got some ideas and some inspiration for your own Christmas decor this year. I'm always so amazed at how wonderful you all are. The wonderful comments that you leave me, the prayers that I know you're praying for my family, and especially for Israel. And I appreciate so much you sharing your thoughts and all of your kindness that you show me. It's very much appreciated, and I have come to be very fond of you, and I'm happy when I can spend time here to share a little bit with you about what's going on in my life, and especially to share scripture with you, which you tell me is a great encouragement to you, as it certainly is to me. I will give you an update on my nephew Jim, who you've been praying for. They have found tumors in his esophagus and in his abdomen. So they're thinking they're going to go in and remove the tumors. I don't know when that will happen, or if that's the final diagnosis or not, or solution or what. But it's it is what it is, and our family is dealing with it. But I know that the strength that we're all getting is coming from your prayers, and I so very much appreciate that. Now, regarding Israel, I have a friend who is an Israeli, and I have contacted her to see how she is, make sure she's all right. She's living in the part of Israel where the war is not going on right now. And so she's as safe as one can be in that country right now. I asked her how she is, and she said that they, meaning the people that she's around, her friends and family and everyone that's living there, is it's very surreal to them, which you can imagine. And that there is a lack of hope, and of course a feeling of personal safety, and a lack of joy. So I've been praying that God would restore their hope. And I reminded her that the God of Israel never slumbers or sleeps. He is their keeper, and he never abandons them. Our God is a covenant God. He keeps his promises, and he has promised to keep Israel, and he will. Israel will survive because God has promised that it will. So I want to share with you today a psalm that has been of comfort to me as I watch the news and see what's going on in Israel, and even in our own country with some of the things that are happening in relation to the war there. And I won't go into a lot of that here. You know what's going on. I don't need to reiterate it. But I do want to share Psalm 46 with you today. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth gives way, though the mountains be moved into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam, though the mountains tremble at its swelling. Selah. There is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy habitation of the Most High. God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. God will help her when morning dawns. The nations rage, the kingdoms totter. He utters his voice, the earth melts. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. Selah. Come and behold the works of the Lord, how he has brought desolations on the earth. He makes wars cease to the end of the earth. He breaks the bow and shatters the spear. He burns the chariots with fire. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. Selah. So we don't know what the future holds except for what we know from Bible prophecy and what's coming. God has foretold it in His Word. So we don't need to fear. God is in control. He's not surprised by anything that's happened. He will bring the final victory, just as He did on the cross with our Savior. So I don't know what else to say except that the Bible has the answers to our fears and to our lack of hope. And we can find encouragement there. I hope that this psalm has encouraged you today as it has me. It's my prayer for Israel that they will know that He is their refuge and strength and that He will not let go of them. He will hold them fast. So pray for the people of Israel, the soldiers, the families. It breaks my heart to see those that have already lost their lives. And for the innocent people that are affected by this war with Hamas, people that are not warmongers, but they are caught in the middle of it in Palestine. So, my friends, I love you. I'm thinking of you. I'm praying that you will be encouraged today and that you will find joy in everyday things. I know for me, it's just trying to, like my friend said, have a kind of go about your day as normal and live in the moment. Keep praying continuously. Even as you're working, you can be praying. And know that God is your refuge and your strength. I love you. See you soon.